Alright, today I'm going to be reviewing this Kobelco SK210 excavator. This machine is a 21-ton machine, and it's equipped with an approximately 1-yard bucket, and we have a thumb on here as well. We have some trees that we might want to take down that makes it a lot easier to get a hold of them. Up here we have a lifting eye, which if you want to do something like put in sheet piling, lift beams around, something like that, it's very useful. It's also useful if you want to tow out other vehicles, or if you need to tow this out, but you're probably not going to be in that situation too often, at least in the sand. And this boom, I believe, gives you a maximum reach of around 30 feet. You have nice wide track pads, probably about 30 inches. This thing does seem to float pretty well over the sand. It actually doesn't pack it down a whole lot. You have your attachment points when you want to load it on a lowboy. And you do have steps, one on each end of the undercarriage. That makes it a lot easier to service the machine. You can see they have been bent up by whoever had this before us. And that's a very common thing to have happen on excavators, especially when people try to run up real close to the inside of things. Right here, have some pretty good size drive sprockets. On the other end you have a tensioner or idler. Basically you're able to pump grease in there, and it just pushes this idler out, then it gives you track tension. You have working light there, and I believe there's one in the boom, yeah, right up there. And come nighttime we'll find out how those do. Doesn't seem to have a whole lot of lights compared to some of the smaller ones, believe it or not. In this compartment, it's just storage. They have a wiring harness here for the lights. Up here is your diesel tank, hydraulic tank. This is your pressure release. And in here, have your hydraulic pump, as well as a fuel filter. Have a backup camera in the rear, which is very nice. I do wish that they had a convex mirror in the back, because the backup camera, it'll show you what's directly behind you. Doesn't give you a very good idea of where the edges of your machine are, and that's what I'm concerned about in these tight spots. So that's something I wish they would have included. Then over here, have 2 batteries. Then you have your radiator back there, intercooler, hydraulic cooler. Then right here's your overflow tank. Your daily checkpoints seem to be pretty easy to get at this machine. Then we'll get up in the cab, just like every other excavator I've been on. The door can just stay put right there. You can run it like this, or you can just open that window. Do it however you like. Here you have a seat that has all sorts of adjustments on it. Wish I had a higher back because I'm a taller guy, but it seems to work. 12-volt outlet, storage compartments, fire extinguisher. You also have a little hammer tool in case you have to break the glass in the event of a rollover, something similar. And then, just like everything else, you have your 2 travel pedals, as well as your 2 joysticks, and that's how you operate the excavator. This one has a foot operated auxiliary as well, to be used for the thumb on this machine. A lot of them are up on the stick. That's not how this one is set up. Up here you have a very good view of your boom up above, which I like because some machines, they don't do a very good job of making it easy to see up there. You can also take your windshield and slide that up out of the way. It's very useful if you're doing something where you have a spotter or someone on the ground that you need to communicate with. And over here you have a display. Seems to be pretty good. It's pretty simple. Turn it on here in a second. Here you have your high and low travel speed, auto idle, windshield washer fluid, and windshield wiper. And you can choose your different attachments. And also as mode right here, you can change between high power mode, standard mode, and economy. I just been running this machine for maybe a half hour and I had it in high power the whole time. And the smaller Kobelco that I operated, an SK210, I kept it in high power all the time. So I imagine that's probably what will happen with this one. You just have a rotary dial for your throttle, ignition switch, and you have a heavy lift switch, independent mode, which makes it so that no part of the machine gets priority over another part. So in other words, normally if I were to drive in a straight line, let's say I wanted to swing and I wanted to scoop something up, that would slow down my travel speed. And it would also slow down my hydraulic function most likely. So that allows you to do is make it so that every part of the machine gets an equal amount of power or hydraulics, whatever you want to say, which is very useful for something like setting in beams or sheet piling, anything where you're constantly moving to finesse something in place. You have your light switch, air conditioning controls. This one is automatic climate control, which is nice. So we'll start it up. It shows your backup camera in the display. Turn down the fan so you can hear me a little better. This has a fuel gauge, temp gauge. This is exactly how the SK210 was set up. And if you hit this, it brings you to a menu. You're able to look at your maintenance. It will tell you the interval when you're supposed to change everything, how long is remaining on those items, as well as when they were replaced. This button brings you back to the main screen. Press that again. You can go to consumption, and you can see what your average gallons per hour used is. Looks like on this machine, average is only 2 gallons per hour, which I find hard to believe. But I suppose that could be true if you were just idling around trying to do finesse work. I'm going to be doing a lot of heavy excavation, so I imagine mine will probably not be that great. I honestly wouldn't doubt that I would be seeing 4 gallons per hour, or even up to 5 gallons per hour. But still, for a 21-ton machine, that's pretty good. They've really done a good job on making these fuel efficient, yet still have plenty of power. So, just like most excavators, you have this little bar to put it down to operate it. We'll beep at you, letting you know it's ready to operate. And then give it a little throttle. Seems to operate pretty smoothly. This machine has a little more hours than some of the other ones. I believe it's right around 2,000 hours, but compared to some of the older equipment, that's absolutely nothing. And I expect that this is going to be a treat to operate, and it already has been. So I will make another review video after I use the machine longer. If there are any questions that anyone has, please let me know and I'll address them.